What the fuck you mean you don't know DJ Mark B? You better preach it. Say that. Say that. Oh, you better go now.
Welcome to Preach Care Preach with Rashad. We are the prophets. Here's an episode, another sermon coming at you from 12 Ounce Sports, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Anywhere you can listen to us. Rashad, man, what's going on? NFL is back, man, and I'm so excited tonight. I really can't wait till we get off air to watch the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. My fault. The reigning, undisputed. Come on, give me some more Paul Heyman stuff. I gotta channel my inner Paul Heyman. Reigning undisputed Super Bowl champions of the world, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Texans. It's gonna be a great game. We're gonna get into that toward the end of today's show. We're going. Hey, we like to bet. We like to put our money where our mouth is. We don't just say the stuff. We actually live by it. I don't know how many times, man, DraftKings and got my money, but hey, you win and you lose some, right? But you live to fight another day. That was John Witherspoon said back on Friday. So we gotta live by the black culture on the Friday, man. So where you want to start at? You want to start MVP or where you want to go? Matter of fact, man, let's start offensive rookie of the year. The reason I say that is it's I wouldn't say it's easy to predict this, but it is very, very hard for a non quarterback to win this award when a first round quarterback is given the keys to start right away. We saw a couple years ago Saquon Barkley win it over Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield missed 3 to 4 weeks, and even then it was still a debate. Last year, Kyler Murray versus Josh Jacobs was the huge debate, but because Kyler Murray was able to play 16 games, he got the bag. So this season, I think it's pretty much a 2-team race, maybe a 2-person player race, maybe even 3 for offensive rookie of the year. Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who we will see tonight, and then Jonathan Taylor from the Colts. And then you got your other guys, your Tuas, your Cam Akers, stuff like that. But realistically, those probably are your 3 front runners. So where are you going to put your money where your mouth is on this one? Yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to go with Jonathan Taylor, and that's just because of the fact that you got Marlon Mack in the way and Naheem Hines. I think that when it comes down to it, will he have the complete control of the backfield? And that's just something I don't know.
No, I'm not really worried about it. Mac is on the last year of his deal. I think they've kind of already seen what he can and can't do. I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna pay him. And Hines only catches. He's not a bell cow back or in between the tackles guy. Taylor can do both. His catching needs some work, but Taylor still is a serviceable guy in the flat that Rivers can dump it off to, and we know he loves his check down. So if it's second down and Rivers got some pressure on him, I can definitely see him dump off to Taylor. They have a great offensive line, so I think Taylor can definitely have a good running year as well as a good receiving year, considering who the quarterback is, how he likes his checkdowns.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be very interesting though with Phillip Rivers there. I think that they want to they want to win the games, and are they going to put the ball into Jonathan Taylor's hands only? And I just think the backfield may be too crowded, which why he's got a plus 900 versus Clyde, who has a plus 300 on DraftKings and like the MyBookie, all those kind of websites. You have to find that where's the what's what I'm looking for, like what's the path for Jonathan Taylor? Because right now I don't think he was cleared week one starter. I think Marlon Mack. It's hard for a rookie to win, unless you're uber talented over a guy like Marlon Mack, which I think Marlon Mack is still a young guy. He's pretty good. He had a good season last year. But yeah, I guess if you are going to put some money on somebody, that would be the guy, because with Clyde, I think it's just too many. It's way too many Chiefs over there, man. I mean, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, Miko Hardman, who I think is going to have a great season. You still got Sammy Watkins. You still got Robinson. How are they going to put the ball in Clyde's hand and let him win Rookie of the Year? And, they say he might be the best, one of the best running backs that Andy Reid ever had. That's on the likes of Kareem Hunt, the likes of LaShawn McCoy, the likes of and Brian Westbrook. Can he beat those guys? I don't know, because when Brian Westbrook was the guy, he didn't have no receivers with him. When LaShawn McCoy was the guy, outside of D-Jack, who else you really had? And then even with Kareem Hunt, you had a baby Kelsey, a baby Tyreek Hill. They wasn't the star they are right now. And I just think it's just too much. And how are you going to put the ball out of – you want Mahomes to not throw the ball? You know what I mean? Like, how much you going to run? So I think if I'm with you on that one, as far as between Jonathan Taylor versus Clyde, if I'm going to put some money on who win a Rookie of the Year, it definitely would be Jonathan Taylor. But like you said, the safe bet is Joe Burrow. I won bet last year betting on Kyler Murray. It was a little sketchy at first. Don't get me wrong. But – yeah, I think I'm going to put my money on Joe Burrow. I think that's just the safest bet. And outside of injury, a quarterback starting week one, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe. I mean, you bet 100, you win 250. You double your money. So why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, exactly. So I am gonna place that bet. You probably should place that bet on Jonathan Taylor though, because like you said. All it takes was the Cincinnati to struggle like the Cardinals did last year, but Cliff was able to get it together. So, like we said about on our AFC North pod that came out today, make sure everybody check that out. That can Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow get it together, and that's going to be the question. So, the Colts offensive line, that's a great point. Let's move to the Defensive Rookie of the Year. This award, we already did our research on it a long time ago, maybe a month or two ago. We were talking about how corners rarely win, defensive ends even rarely win, because you have to get a high sack total, pressures, and then Nick Bosa did win last year. But this award to me is a linebacker award. Who's going to get the most tackles, because they do everything. They're going to pass coverage. They're going to make the tackles. They can blitz the quarterback. They have a lot of jobs. And we have, two, maybe three good linebackers that's, for this award. Chase Young is the favorite, followed by Isaiah Simmons on the Arizona Cardinals. But two guys I want to talk about, man, Patrick Queen, Kenneth Murray on the Ravens and the Chargers, respectively. Where are you leaning in the Defensive Rookie of the Year in this case?
It's a tough call because, like you said, Chase is the favorite. I think Chase is like plus 200,
yep.
And pretty much anything that he does is going to be highlighted because he's bound to make some phenomenal tackles, yep. or a crazy sack, some strip fumbles. I mean, he is on a loaded defensive team, in my opinion, coached by two defensive guys in Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio. So they're going to maximize using him to his fullest potential. But I don't think it'll be him just because of Montez Sweat and other guys are going to be.
Yeah, way too many guys.
Somebody's going to take some of your sacks, some of your tackles, or just things like that. So I don't think Chase will get the numbers to win it. The Ravens defense is pretty loaded, so that could steal away some of his shine, and then the Chargers. They're
They
pretty
loaded.
loaded.
Yeah.
'Cause- but I will go with with Bosa there and Ingram there. One of those guys has to get doubled, and then we know the Chargers secondary is loaded. So I kind of want to lean um, Hayward. Yeah, I kind of want to leave him, but I don't know, man, because with this award, they don't really value winning like other awards. So you're a rookie, so
Right.
like
It's
you're
not. It's all gonna be about that. Well. No. Don't get it wrong. Now winning that had a lot to do with it because
it helps.
Josh Allen has a real case last year, and they gave it to Bosa because he was on the 49ers, always on the headlight. So if I'm not gonna say it's the only thing, or a big factor, but it does play a role because people are seeing you, and that's why Patrick Queen on Baltimore, like has that edge because we expect Baltimore to me, in my opinion, it's Super Bowl or bust. You had
Oh, yeah.
So if that's the case, and these guys already call him Ray Lewis Jr., so he already had to live up to this high praise already. And like you said, you talk about the Chargers loaded roster, and even like the Chase Young having his front four so loaded. Patrick Queen with Calais Campbell and Judon and Humphries and Peters and all them guys.
But don't look at that Murray, man. You got Casey Hayward back there. You got all these guys
Yeah.
in the secondary, Ingram, Bosa. But the thing that could make you lean Patrick Queen is the Ravens are going to be the featured team alongside Kansas City this year and the Cowboys. So, Kenneth Murray could be out of sight, out of mind because people they don't love the Chargers like that.
Chargers not even the home team when they in LA.
Yeah, they don't love the Chargers like this. So unless he does some crazy numbers, I don't think he'll get it. So I'm voting for Patrick Queen.
Now I'm gonna present somebody else who could be featured on a good team. This is Seattle. Jordan Brooks, the linebacker who we surprised us in the first round. I thought he was second round, third round guy. Went first round to the Seattle Seahawks alongside Bobby Wagner. Speed. When I say Jordan Brooks, that's all I think of is speed and how he can get to the plays. And if Bobby can get all the attention, Jordan can come right in and get it too. So he's another guy at the same position of these two, Queen and Murray, on a good team that we think should be good as well. Do you think Jordan Brooks have any say so in this race as well? I mean, he's a plus 2,500, so you're talking about great odds if you want to win some some actual money. So what do you think about a Jordan Brooks kind of guy, like another linebacker on a good team?
Talented guy, but in regards to this, he probably won't even finish top 5 in the voting just because of Seattle for one. Like the Chargers, they're out of sight, out of mind most times.
Yeah.
It's Russ, Bobby, and that's kind of it, So they're either always going to be 1 or 2 stars, or like when Richard Sherman was there, he was kind of that face of the defense, or Cam Chancellor. So even though those guys are still gone, it's still kind of out of sight, out of mind with Seattle. Like Russ barely got any MVP votes, so I know Brooks ain't.
That's a good point. Great point.
So
Yeah.
I know Brooks not finna get no defensive player votes. So I think he's gonna be out of sight, out of mind. It's gonna be Chase Young, Kenneth Murray, Patrick Queen.
So-
Isaiah Simmons may have a way to insert himself in, but I think Cardinals gonna be in shootout, so he probably gonna get stats from being on the field a lot.
I'm about to say that I want to be very interested to see how Cardinals use Isaiah Simmons though, because when you look at it, it's like, okay, is he gonna really play linebacker or he can play safety? And I think they got him at safety right now, and next to Budda Baker, and safeties rarely win this award because it takes a lot. Like it takes a lot.
Can't get any stats.
All right, so like Derwin James and Jamal Adams are the few guys that been drafted and did a lot their first seasons, and that I think that's more scheme based than anything. Moving Isaiah Simmons all over the field may hurt him in the long run. Yeah, he's so versatile, probably the versatile guy in the draft. But it's like, okay, now I'm taking him out of linebacker, so he won't get the tackles. Put him at safety. Let's say I have him roaming the field. Well, if he's not getting picks, he's not gonna be seen. Marcus Peters won the Defensive Rookie of the Year because he had 7-8 picks his rookie season. So that's gonna what it takes for a guy like Simmons or a guy like Okudah to even be like featured in these these awards. So I wouldn't go Simmons either. So yeah, you're right. Chase Young is very easy to go, but at the same time, you talked about it. Jonathan Allen, Sweat, Matt Anitis, how you say his name? Anitis, I can't say it, but all these guys on the Washington line, it's just too hard. Like you said, they're gonna take away from him. So he might lead the team in QB hits. That won't give him no award. Like
Oh, no.
that's right. So he might lead QB pressures, but if Jonathan Allen or Payne get the sack, he's not gonna get the award. So I'm with you. You said you're going with Kenneth Murray, correct?
No, I'm gonna go Patrick
You
Queen.
go Patrick Queen?
Because Chargers gonna be out of sight, out of mind.
You know what? I actually think you might be right, just because of that factor. Like it's gonna be the Josh Allen and Bosa situation again. So because Josh Allen was in Jacksonville and was losing, and Bosa got the win, we see Bosa more. So it's like the media had to give the award to him. And I think the media gonna have to do the same thing. And nothing taken away from Bosa. He played a great season. But I think if Queen and Murray are on the same exact level, they're gonna give it to Queen because his team could be 14-2 at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm going Patrick Queen as well. If we move on to Coach of the Year, I think this is a hard one. I don't know why. If you want like good value, so the leaders are Bruce Arians, Bill Belichick, Mike McCarthy, Kyle Shanahan, for obvious reasons. I mean, Bruce Arians got Tom Brady, the storyline. Bill Belichick, can I win it without Tom Brady? And now I got Cam Newton. Mike McCarthy, new team, new coach. Dallas has always been talked about. If I can go put him in the Super Bowl, I'll win that easily. And then Kyle Shanahan, can I repeat my success last year? So those are your front runners. You got, obviously Cliff Kingsbury's up there, Harbaugh, Sean McDermott, those guys. I think the Coach of the Year award is usually either it's going to be the greatest team on the field or it's going to be the storyline. So which side are you taking on those two sides?
It depends. I'm going a combination of both,
Okay.
and that's Mike McCarthy.
I like it.
Cowboys did make the playoffs last year. You have the whole storyline of, was McCarthy really the problem? Has he made actual adjustments from Aaron Rodgers? Can he get Dak to play at the MVP level? So I'm going the combo of both. If Cowboys win 13 games, Dak is in MVP race, puts up great numbers, all the receivers eat, Zeke eats, I think McCarthy will probably run away with the award. Now, granted, Belichick, I think, has the inside track because if they win double-digit games without Brady, with Cam, or if Cam goes down and still don't have to come in, or Hoyer or something like that, if Belichick still produces 9 to 10 wins with all the COVID guys, the COVID opt-outs, roster turnover from the offseason trades, draft, if Belichick puts up 9-10 wins, that may override McCarthy by a tad. But considering the Cowboys are the biggest revenue machine in the NFL, biggest brand in the NFL, if they're the number 1 or 2 seed in the NFC, that MVP level, I think McCarthy gets it. Arians,
I'm cool on
it. I can see it maybe, but I think Brady will get more credit than Arians gets. So that kind of dims my light on him.
Now, this could be part of the storyline, and I think they have. We talked about it on, like I said, once again on AFC North podcast that just came out today. Make sure y'all check that out. I'm a roll with your team that you love the most in the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns, and I think they have the highest floor. I mean, the lowest floor, but the highest ceiling, probably in the NFL. Meaning, like, if they win 5-6 games, it wouldn't shock me. But they get 11 win 11 times. I mean, hey, that wouldn't shock me either. And I think if all the Browns have to do is make the playoffs, I think that can do it for Kevin Stefanski. His odds are pretty good. 2,000. He's right there with Ron Rivera in Washington, Mike Vrabel in Tennessee, tied with Sean Payton and tied with Andy Reid. So it's not like it's far-fetched that he's not out of the situation to win it. So can he win 11 games? And I think that's going to be like his thing. If he can get 11 wins, make the playoffs as a Browns head coach who hasn't done anything since, our lifetime. I don't remember the Browns ever being good at all. So, even Bill Belichick couldn't get the Browns to be good. So, if he's the guy to get there, and like I said, unless the Dallas story is too much or the Bill Belichick story is too much, you have to give it to the Browns. You have to give it to whoever the coach in the Browns is. I just feel like that's like a no-brainer if he can get 10-11 wins.
Yeah, I can see that. A real true dark horse to me that nobody would probably even think about, Flores in Miami. If
I
they
like that
win the
one.
division, if they win the division,
Which very
he'll
possible.
get he'll get some votes.
Very possible. And yeah, I'm running with you. This Miami roster, this is really good. Like I keep Talib retired. I thought him being there would help that secondary out, but they don't really need it. Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and then they drafted a first round draft pick out of Auburn, Noah. You know his last name. I'm not gonna even put myself through it. But all the guys they brought in, and you have Fitzpatrick to go to Tua. Yeah, I'm with you. Miami Dolphins definitely. Brian Flores can win it. If I'm looking for anybody else as another dark horse, ooh.
Like I can't see it because like I don't think Shanahan gets it because you gotta repeat what you did last year and then elevate that. So I don't think guys like
16.
Shanahan
That's 16 and 0.
or Harbaugh.
Yeah, you
like
gotta go 16 and 0. Yeah.
Yeah, Shanahan and Harbaugh, what they did last year, I don't think they can elevate past that. Like even Andy Reid, like he as great as he is, I don't.
You win the Super Bowl, so you got to
elevate past that.
Yeah. I think Vegas trying to fool us with and have Kingsbury so high, like he's a top 6 coach for this award. Vegas odds, and I'm like, don't let me do it because you know how much I like the Cardinals this year, how I think they can be a surprise team. So I'm not rolling with it with Cliff, but I'm gonna tell you a guy who everybody hate, man. And you already know who I'm gonna go with this one. I have B.O.B. Like I feel like he has one of the worst odds. I'm gonna tell you who he next to. All right, so who I always say the worst coach in the NFL is.
Man, we know.
Adam Gase is the worst. Got the worst odds, followed by who's the worst team in the NFL. Who we think going over 16 this season?
Oh, yeah,
Marone, Jags. So that's 2 guys right there. And he's right next to them. First off, that's very disrespectful. Because Bill O'Brien make playoffs. Like, that's disrespectful. Like, if this was a GM award, okay, you could do that. You can put him at the bottom. But this is a coach award. And I don't think that being at a 4,000 plus 4,000, I feel like he can. All you gotta do is win. I mean, they be winning every year. I know you're a fan of the Colts and making the playoffs with, and I think the Colts gonna be a good team too. And the Titans went to the AFC Championship game last year, but if Texas win the division, 10 wins, which is very possible. Storyline is he lost Watson. He lost D-Hop in the trade. Everybody mad about, but the trend, for MVPs. I think it's time for Watson to emerge. We love him. We think he's Mahomes got his, Lamar got his. It's Watson's turn, or is it obviously Dak? We talk about him too, but can Watson get it? And Watson elevate to the MVPs. O'Brien gonna be right there because of what he did. He put Watson in a situation without D Hop, but giving him Cobb, giving him Cooks, giving him Will Fuller. So I think Bill O'Brien can be a very very dark horse. I probably wouldn't bet on it. I'm not going. If I throw something, it'd be like a little 20 on it, but at best. But I mean, it's just that's disrespectful, man. Right next to Gase and Marone.
I can't say it's disrespectful just from this point of view of he always wins 9-10 games.
Right.
Outside of 1 year going 4-12. So the odds are about, this is a long shot. If he maintains status quo of 8, 9, 10 wins, he's not going to win it. So I can see why the odds are there.
They gave Zach Taylor a better odd than him by like a lot. No, that's what I'm saying.
But it's understandable because like Cincinnati in a situation where like they actually can grow and be phenomenal versus the Texans. They want 8 to 7, 8, 9, 10 wins. That's kind of like in line of what they're projected to be.
That's true.
So if he hits that, that's kind of like just the status quo pretty much. So I can't say it's disrespectful just from the point of he probably is a long shot to win it. Nobody's gonna even think about it.
Yeah. I mean, if Watson can get that level, man. If he can hit that level, it's gonna be because BLB put him in a situation. So I just think it's a very, very possibility. We're not gonna spend too much time on this, but I do want to bring it up real quick. Comeback player of the year. It really? I mean, Cam, Big Ben, Stafford, even a guy like Gronk. Your J.J. Watts. Even a Baker Mayfield, but he wasn't injured, so he coming back from what? Coming back from being sorry last year. So I really guess it's between who's going to be the better quarterback this year, a Big Ben or Cam Newton. I mean, if you want to throw Stafford in there, you can.
And to me, this award is kind of pointless because only certain people can qualify for it.
Right. That's why I say
And
not too
like,
long on it.
and yeah, like even if you're not injured, like Tannehill came back and won it because of what he did with Tennessee. So, um, I don't know who I pick, man. I feel like if Pittsburgh just wins 10 games, make the playoff,
You probably
Ben
gonna
gets it
win.
automatically, and unless Cam goes crazy with the stats and that whole Patriots thing, he gets it. So because he has more of a narrative than Ben, but if people say, well, Ben missed all last year, he's 38, he's older.
Yeah, you
It's,
give
it's
it to
kind
him.
of a two-person race. So I mean, I really can't see anybody else winning it. Stafford, we like Stafford, but I don't think he'll get it.
Yeah, right. All right. So, like I said, I just want to make sure we mention it. MVP, man. Um, based off the odds, man. Where you going?
Oh, I would definitely go Dak at plus 1400. I mean, I think he's the MVP this year. He's my favorite to win it, just because of everything he's had endured the
Yeah.
offseason, the last year or so. Honestly, with just the
Dis-
contract
The
talks.
disrespect. Call it what it
Is
is.
he? Yeah. Is he the guy? Is he not the guy? Does he deserve this? Does he deserve that? He's talking like he's the man. He's not the man, and then we had Skip Bayless on TV today diminishing. I won't say diminishing it, but he was kind of dismissive of everything Dak was saying about in regards to losing his brother this year, and
Yeah, that's
losing
kind of.
losing motivation to go train and work out. Like, yo, somebody lost a close family member, man. Like, people need to grieve and get away from time to time. Like, and now you're questioning his leadership and his drive to win, all that kind of stuff.
For
So,
what exactly?
I mean, Skip might have to come back on TV and apologize for doing that, but he's 70-something years old. He normally stands behind his word, so
Yeah.
he may not apologize about it, but I thought that was very disrespectful to Dak as well as Dak's family. But I just think the narrative, the MVP is a narrative award. I just think the narrative is going to favor Dak with putting up numbers. Cowboys should be a good team,
Yep.
so he should at least be a top 3 guy for MVP. And plus 1400, I'll definitely put 100 on Dak and take that bet.
I'm about to say, man. So right now he has the fourth best odds. Yeah. Pat Mahomes at 400, Lamar at 700. I think that's just too easy. Like you said, the narrative. Lamar has to do. He has to do better than what he did last year. I don't know if you can sustain that kind of touchdown rate. And Pat Mahomes, he had one of the most historic seasons 2 years ago. Does he do that? So somebody I would want to go, Russell Wilson, but he never gets MVP votes. This is gonna be the year. I don't think they let him. Russ be Russ. I don't think they're gonna let him cook. So I'm gonna double down on what I said about Bill O'Brien and go with Deshaun Watson at a plus 2,000, just because I feel like don't feel like life always worked this kind of way where you rely on something the whole time and then when it's finally gone you realize, oh, I didn't really need it like that. Like I feel like the Browns, for example, I was like, once Joe Thomas retire, who's arguably one of the best left tackles of all time, watch the Browns start winning games. Like he went through a stretch where they won like 5 games in 3 years, and now if they're not getting 8-8, we talking about they had a failed season. So I think the same situation where he was so relied on D Hop, when in doubt, throw D Hop. When in doubt, go find the guy with the dreads, throw it to him. And I think this year is going to be different. I think Bill O'Brien, he got okay. You can say he kind of messed up with the trade part, but what he got with Brandon Cooks and Fuller and Cobb and Kenny Stills and Kiki Kuti, like these guys, man, you have 5 good solid receivers who can put on the show. And if Watson is who you want him to be, who you just paid him, like it's time. Like it's time. Like, I think the 2 guys that we got right now are heading in the right direction. Like so, Lamar got his and Mahomes got his. Russ already cemented with the Super Bowl. When he was very young. So Dak versus Watson, I really think those are my top 2 MVP cases. Like I think they have the best storyline because they, as much as we ridicule, not we, but people ridicule Bill O'Brien, they're gonna say Watson won in spite of, and I think that's
Pretty much.
and that's gonna be a storyline. Even though Bill O'Brien's a really good coach, he gonna know if they go 12-4, Deshaun Watson lost Hopkins and the GM just trade anybody away, and yet he still won 12 games, and I think that's going to be his storyline, and that's going to be his path to MVP. Is anybody else that you see that that wouldn't surprise you?
I mean, yeah, I got Dak as my favorite because I think he's in his Joe Flacco year. He's gonna go out, ball the hell out, get crazy numbers, crazy stats, and he'll get his money in the offseason. But two guys I think that the media has love affairs with that could get some votes. If he lasts the entire season, Drew Brees may be able to get his first one. If they win a division and he has the numbers, because they say they're gonna get a deal with Kamara done. Mike Thomas got his. They brought in Emmanuel Sanders. So if Drew can last the whole year and do the numbers that he's been doing one more time and be a top 2 team in the NFC, I think he can get some votes. And then just because everybody's kind of shutting him down, dismissing him, washing him out, this storyline could get this guy some MVP votes. Old faithful, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers. If he puts up 40 touchdowns again, huge yardage, shuts down all that Jordan Love's the future stuff like that, at least for another year or two, I think Aaron Rodgers could at least get some votes and maybe even win it, depending upon how the season goes and how his stats look.
All right, so we had mentioned 4 of our list for top 5 quarterbacks. There's one guy we haven't mentioned yet that round out that top 5. And I think his storyline can be good too, and it's Carson Wentz. I do think Cowboys are the better team. I think they have the better roster from top to bottom. But I don't know what it is, but that injury bug, he live in Philly. Like he born and raised just like Will Smith playground with most of the days at. And I'm like, bro, Andre Dillon out for the season. They had to bring Peters back already. Yep. Jeffrey's still banged up. It's only a matter of time for D-Jats go down. Zach Ertz going through this contract situation right now, so who knows? He might surprise us all and say, hold out all of a sudden, Then you got who you got to draft the first round? Jalen Reagor, he's banged up already. So right now he going to in Sunday's game with J-Jaw, Ertz unhappy, and you got Goddard. And DJ, I mean, that's like once again he got to will this team to victory. And yeah, the defense got better. I mean, you brought in Hargrave next to Cox, and you got Malik Collins, and you got Darius Slay. But I think once again he gonna have to do it again. And I think he already got robbed of MVP already. He got a Super Bowl, but it's always gonna be an asterisk on it just because he wasn't the guy to win it, even though he was the guy to put them in a situation. But he also got robbed of the MVP that year because he got hurt. So he
has the most unfair legacy of every guy playing right now. He has the most unfair legacy. I mean,
man would have won MVP and Super Bowl in 1 year.
Even if dominoes effect happens, so even if they don't win a Super Bowl, at least he has his MVP. I mean, come on,
right, yeah.
I mean, I understand that, he didn't finish the year and Brady was putting up pretty good numbers and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of look at, okay, well, based upon what Brady went through and what Wentz went through, how it finished up, you give it to Brady. I wasn't mad at it, but at the same time, what Wentz had did in that was his second year. Come on, man. I thought for sure this guy was MVP. Whether he finished the year or not, he played, I think, 13 games.
Yeah, it was his. I think they wanted to give it to Brady, but they didn't know how to give it to him. And Wentz
for that narrative.
Yeah, and Wentz was playing too good, and then Brady get hurt. So I think Carson has a good chance again, and it's always gonna be the same storyline. He's doing it with less. Like Mahomes gonna have Hill and Kelsey. Lamar got his talent around him, Andrews and Hollywood Brown. Russ got DK and Lockett and Carson. We talk about Dak, his studded receiver core with Zeke. And then even Watson. I mean, I think he got 4 good receivers, and then David Johnson. So it's gonna be Reagor, J-Jaw, as a Sega Whiteside for those who don't know, and then Goddard. Because like I said, who knows if Ertz check out? It's possible. I mean, guys have egos, and he already got a Super Bowl, so if he check out, he check out. He He say
I
Kittle
mean,
get
yeah,
paid.
he said Kittle
And Kelsey,
get paid.
well, mine. I mean, because at one point, Ertz was. If you said Kelsey, you had to say Ertz in the same sentence. Now that Kelsey and Kittle are used more, and Ertz is kind of like a little small step down, like, well, that's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my money. Like, so he could check out mentally, and it could be all Carson, the all Carson show. So, man,
Ertz, see, Grunt came back and still kept his money. Like, that was really killing him right there. This man came back and kept his money.
Hey,
oh, y'all gotta pay me.
Hooper got paid too. Like, is it too many tight ends, bro? He like, come on, bro. Like, this is enough. So, Carson Wentz, man, you got the storyline. So, you know, I feel this right there. Let's move on to the team futures. Let's go to win totals. Who's gonna win these? Who's gonna win these things? As soon as I can pull it up. What am I doing?
Oh man, this is the easy one right here, man. You gotta go over on the Broncos 7.5. Come on, man. To me, Broncos 7.5. Broncos at 7.5. I think is almost disrespectful considering the height that they're getting and how good that team could be.
What about even with the loss of Von Miller?
The defense still has enough talent. I think, you know, your pass rusher that shouldn't cost you more than a half a win. I think they're gonna win 9 to 10 anyway. So even they could probably get to 11 or 12 depending upon some scheduled breaks and stuff like that. So I think Broncos should be a double-digit win team, or at least 9, which is enough to cover 7.5.
Right. You are first of all, all right. So you started there. You know what I'm starting at. We going down to Florida. We going down to Jacksonville. 4.5 is their win total. I'm taking the under. I told you the other day. I didn't care if it was 3.5, 2.5. I was taking the under on it. I just don't think Jags presents any challenge for a lot of teams, and that's even the worst teams. I think a team like Washington, a team like Carolina take care of business if they play Jacksonville. And I think at one point this offseason, Jacksonville was the underdog in every game. That don't mean you're going on 16, but you're the underdog in every single game. And the Jacksonville Jaguars don't have to play in London. You know they undefeated over there in London. So they can't go over there now because of the COVID. So, you know, that one they always going to get, they ain't got it now. And, you know, the Fournette trade, or release the Yannick Ngakoue trade, Calais Campbell got traded for a 5th round, traded Jalen. They got a big haul for Jalen, though. But, you know, these guys, I like what they got over there, youth-wise, but, man, Jacksonville 4.5, I got to take the under. That's one of my favorite ones. I can't be wrong with that one. There's no way.
Yeah, man. I don't want to steal your bet, but that is definitely a safe bet for an under. I'm not sure who else is out there, man, that has a good value, but I think Carolina 5.5 is a safe under.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Their schedule is brutal, man. Like, I think
the NFC South has a hard schedule. Yeah.
Like, Teddy is, depending upon who you ask, he gets high praise. I'm not in a Teddy Bridgewater camp. Matt Rule, first-year coach. He's Temple and Baylor. He never had a good first year at either one of those places. The defense, they drafted well for it, but I think it's going to be a struggle being in your division with Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and those offenses. I'm taking Carolina under 5.5.
And I'm about to say, like, how many games do you think they win in the division? Because I don't think they can beat the Saints. I don't think they can beat the Bucks. And they might struggle with Atlanta too. So you're right, man. That's a safe under. I think they actually get maybe 4 or 5 wins. And I'll tell you right now, if you make this bet tonight, you put 5.5 under on Carolina. If they lose week 1, you got it. If they lose, they play the Raiders. They play the Raiders week 1. If Carolina lose week 1, you win the bet already. There's no that is the path to success right there. If they lose week 1, you got that in the bag.
Yeah, because after that, their schedule gets rough.
Rough ain't the word, man, on that one.
Gets rough.
Let's see. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got? Yo, I know a perfect over, and I don't know if it's. I won't say perfect. Perfect not the word, but Miami 6.5. 6.5. They was tanking last year and won 6 games.
Hey, I was going that route, but I got another one for you. I was going that route, but you got that one.
All right, so let me hop on the Dolphins real quick at 6.5 over. Just the fact we talked about, Brian Flores has a good odds to win Coach of the Year. I feel like why not? You know, like this team with even with Tua or Fitzpatrick, I think Fitzpatrick is good enough to win 7 games with this roster now. Like this culture is here. Brian Flores has set that Miami culture, and I mean, Brian Jones is a big addition. Getting winners like Van Noy, that's a great addition. You got guys, man. They got guys who want to win now. And this wasn't the same Dolphins team we saw last year. Like I said, they tanked last year, quote unquote, tanked for Tua, and they still won 5 to 6 games. So now you get 6.5 as your over under. I gotta take that because the Patriots aren't the Patriots that we know. They're not going to get 13-3 this year. So they can fight with them. They can fight with Buffalo, and they definitely can beat the Jets. So give me that one. 6.5. I gotta take that one.
I can't blame you on that, man. I got one more over and one more under. For my next under, I hate to do it to them. Las Vegas Raiders under 7.5.
Oh, 7. See, that's crazy because they were 8-8 last year.
They won 8 last year, and they were playing pretty good ball. So
right, yeah, that's.
So like it's a sketchy one.
Yeah.
But look at the division. Kansas City, we think is a Super Bowl favorite.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking about Broncos taking a leap. Broncos lost a lot of close games last year, so that should regress.
Right.
Chargers, loaded defense. They had a QB thing going on, but I think Chargers are a better team than Las Vegas. And then you got the Derek Carr controversy of potentially trading him, cutting him. They brought in Mariota, so and their schedule is pretty tough, man. So I don't think the Raiders can play 500 ball this year. Because they got to win 8 games to get it.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll play 500 ball.
I got one for you, and I'm scared to do this because I know you gonna like it. But hear me out why I'm hesitant. So I'm taking who you think gonna win the NFC North. Who obviously I think Minnesota gonna win it, but you think the Packers are gonna win it. 8.5 for the Packers. Now the reason I said I'm hesitant on this is because basically you gotta go 9-7. Is that doable? Very, very, very. They were 13-3 last year. But you talk about the the Broncos, how they're lost a lot of close games and how it's going to regress. What about the Packers in this sense? Because as far as like being hesitant to bet this, because 13-3 last year is like at least 4 to 5 games that I can recall right now in my head that they got out of it alive. You know what I'm saying? It was like one of those, it could go either way, and they won all of them. And, sometimes it goes the other way. If it does go the other way, I can see why it's at 8.5. And that's why it's like, if it was at 10, I think I'd be more confident to bet it. I know that sounds crazy, but because Vegas is making me think why is it so low? Because this should be a no-brainer. 8.5. The NFC North is tough. So even if I think Green Bay or Minnesota could win it with 10 games, so basically only 2 games above this, it's okay, well, 9-7. If the Bears and Lions show up, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, that's the only one. 8.5 made me think about it too much. So I still would probably do the over, but I definitely wouldn't be as confident as I am on the other ones that I said earlier.
Hey, I can't blame you on that, man. But
they should get at least 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm looking like they should clear 10 wins.
Right.
A healthy Aaron Rodgers usually clear 10 wins. So. But you just never know, man. I think that bet is based upon what if he goes down.
Yeah, right.
Now it's over.
So you better talk that trash.
Hey, I like Jordan Love as a prospect, but I don't think he can come in right away and just take him to the next level. I know they had the Deshaun Kaiser thing one year, and it was terrible. So I don't think Jordan Love Deshaun Kaiser, but a rookie QB throwing him in there. Basically, if we never wish injury upon anybody, but hypothetically, Rodgers go down in the second quarter or third quarter, you got to bring a rookie in off the bench cold against who knows the
with opponent. No preseason. I don't think it matters who it is.
Yeah, you got to go in there and try to win that game plus the rest of them.
Man,
that would really kill your
That
bet
would-
if you did that.
yeah, that definitely does. That definitely scares me. And like, ooh, and it's only because they put it 8.5. If they made it 10, I'll probably be like, you know what, you right. Ooh,
Man, my last over. It could be risky because we just talked about Aaron Rodgers, so it could be risky.
Mhm.
But just knowing this guy's history of always winning 9 and above games, you got to take the over on the Seahawks. You got to take that over.
yeah. I mean, see, it's like, and I think they're risky as well because of the same thing. If the Rams and the Cardinals are right there at 500, that's when you be like, oh, that means Seattle may lost some. So yeah, I feel you on that one. Yeah, that is risky. Because we're not the biggest believers in their roster. I think they got a lot of great guys, but like from top to bottom, if a couple guys go out, we say Russell Bus over in Seattle.
Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy one. I'm right there with you. Obviously another one I want to throw out. I'm not gonna pick this one as one of mine, but I'm taking that Bengals under 5.5, right?
Oh, you got to.
I was like, I won that bet last year, so I got to double up. But if I'm gonna take a risky one, or kind of come with some hesitant a little bit, it's crazy because it feels like the number is so high for them because of the division. You talked about Seattle. How do you feel about Washington over 5? Now, they may have a quarterback problem with Haskins. He may not take that next step. Alex Smith come back from the injury, great story. Don't know if he got it. But if you're talking about, they did the exact same thing the 49ers have done when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. Where 49ers defense the year before, we wasn't saying, oh, this is, before Bosa and Ford got there, it was like, they got some good pieces. They drafted Buckner, Armstead, and all these guys, whatever. You bring over Richard Sherman. You bring over Ford from the Chiefs, and you go draft Bosa. Boom, best defense in the league. Like, and I feel like the same thing where you brought Landon Collins over, and at one point it was like, why you do that? But now they brought Fuller back. He's back at corner. Then you another year with these guys, the front seven, and you brought in the best defensive player in college football last year in Chase Young. They can hold some people. Like, they can win some 13-10 games. I feel like they got it. Like, and if I'm that much a believer in the defense with a Ron Rivera and a Jack Del Rio, you can go 6-10. Like, I mean, you probably gotta beat Giants twice to do it. But I mean, I don't think that's very risky. I think that's very risky. But imagine the winning that, how like, oh, okay, that's a good little bet, I think.
Yeah, I had Washington. I'll talk about your bet first. So I have Washington on the top 3 of risky bets because Haskins has to be Jimmy Garoppolo-esque to get the 7-9, 8-8, 500 balls. So he looked good in camp from all reports. And if he has to get pulled, Kyle Allen is still there. They have Terry on the outside, but the running back situation, I'm not pretty, I'm not sold on that.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing at all.
I mean, I like Sims as a wide receiver number 2 for them.
My guy right there.
But we still waiting on. He got to make that
jump,
leap and put it on the field.
Yeah.
So, and then also, Jack Del Rio is there, but guys play for Ron Rivera, so I'm not sure if his presence or lack thereof could hurt the team in any way. So I think that's a cause for concern. But that is a risky bet with Washington. Another risky bet because this team always stays right in the middle, even keel. Tennessee. Can you really trust the over or the under on that?
No.
Can you really trust it?
No, I can't trust it. That's because this is a team that can have that regress. If Tannehill played as a top 5 quarterback last year. Like when he came into the league to the end, he was a top 5 quarterback. I don't care if you want to, whoever you would want to debate. Look at the numbers. It's right there in front of you. He got the championship game for a reason. Obviously, you can say Derrick Henry, but Tannehill was playing out of his mind. So will he regress back to a what kind of quarterback does he regress to? Because obviously that's hard to sustain when we haven't seen it yet from him. If he goes back from let's say top 5 last year when his spurt, if he goes to a top 10 versus a top 20, how big of a difference that is? How many wins is that? So I'm scared of it. And if Derrick Henry go down, bet gone.
Man,
that's like
my fantasy team gone.
You're right, man. That's because Derrick Henry has shown that he has the ability to stay healthy, and you know what happens when you get paid. that's when this start happening.
Luckily, he on that 1-year deal. He got to stay healthy.
That's true.
To get the other deal.
That's true. Yeah,
one last risky bet, man. Before you harp on about the Tennessee one, the Rams.
The 8 wins.
That's risky because we talked about Cardinals how they could make the leap, and you still have Seattle and 49ers there. So hey, we love McVay, but we know ESPN trying to get you in that booth.
They try to get you out of here. Hey, no. That's good. That's a good one. Yeah, because one of my bold predictions, I think from if I had to go ahead and get spoiler alert, Rams finish last, and if they last 8-8, I don't think it'll be 8-8. I think it's gonna be 6-10 if you last because they're all gonna beat each other, and
running back wise, we don't know. They got Cam Akers,
I don't know who they got.
Henderson.
Yeah.
So running back wise, we don't know.
And a third receiver needs to emerge unless they go on this 2 tight end set. He being Everett. So offensive line not as strong.
So you'll need Josh Reynolds. You need that. You need the offensive line to come together. You paid 2 defensive studs, but the rest.
Shout out to our guy Taylor Rapp, man, out there at safety. Yeah, man, but you're right. The rest. I mean, they did get Brockers back because of a failed physical. He was supposed to go to the Ravens, so you got lucky getting him to come back. So, oh man, Rams and Titans are a tricky one. 8.5 for Titans and 8 for the Rams. That 8 is what, because you have no leeway. They got to be 7-9 or they got to be 9-7.
That's why I said that's a risky bet because, man, those right there are risky bets. You got to really believe in. At least the Rams are not good.
At least, yeah, right. That's what you gotta say. You gotta say Rams are not a 500 team if you want to bet that. And at least Titans, you can say they're a 500 team and 8-8. You pick the under, you win. So that's the beauty of it. So yeah, those two are risky, man. I'm gonna stay away from all double-digit guys. 49ers, Saints, Ravens, Chiefs. Even though I expect it, you can't bet on a team to go 13-3. I just can't do it.
Nah.
So all those double-digit teams, I'm gonna stay away from. But definitely those teams that we named, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get that my bookie of the DraftKings, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Last one before we leave, is kind of a. I'm not gonna say it's your Super Bowl prediction because we still gonna have all of our tweets coming out right before the season start about who we're going to choose to win it all. But based on odds only, what Super Bowl matchup would you take right now?
Well, based upon my season projections, I'm taking Ravens-Cowboys at plus 3,300.
Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one.
Because Lamar's last year's MVP, and based upon the last few years, the guy who wins MVP
win Super Bowl MVP next year.
Super Bowl. So I got to put Ravens in there.
Yeah.
And I think Dak and McCarthy gonna have a lightning in the bottle first year. I think Dak is in his Flacco mode. So I'm taking that.
That's a good one. I really want to steal it.
And then just not to be funny, but man, let's just get 2 black QBs in the Super Bowl, bro. Black Lives Matter.
hey, for real though. Hey, because you say that, I'm gonna do a different one. I'm gonna go down a little further down. I'm gonna go plus 4,400, and Russ versus Lamar for the Super Bowl. That could as far as value, Seattle is right there. I think Russ makes Seattle go. If they let Russ be Russ, it's over for the league. Like, let him go. If they say, okay, we're gonna stop this ball control stuff, let Russ be Russ. I like the odds because Ravens let Lamar be Lamar. Chiefs let Mahomes be Mahomes, and you see how far they be winning games. I think I know Pete Carroll is trying to mask some of the dysfunctions of the Seattle Seahawks team. As a great coach, you should do that. But if you let Russ be Russ, I'm telling you, this like first off, I got Lockett in every fantasy league. That means Lockett about to be the best receiver in football if you let Russ be Russ. So because of that, you got to let Russ be Russ. So hey, that could be good, man. First of all, these odds are crazy. Like you might as well throw a little $10 on the Ravens Cowboys, and like that's nothing. I mean,
the scariest part about all these bets though is always gonna be the NFC side because they have to kill each other.
Yeah,
AFC is always gonna be a two possible third person race. Like I think AFC, you need to just lock in Ravens or Chiefs on everything. But NFC, you can't lock in. I like the Cowboys, but I think Buccaneers could get there. Saints could get there. You know, it just Green Bay could get there. Minnesota. I think the NFC, man, it's tough to lock in a for sure thing.
Yeah.
But I think the Cowboys, 49, the Seahawks we just talked about. So I think the NFC side, murderous roll.
I wanted real quickly, maybe I can spend a minute on it. These are the top 16 odds for the Super Bowl. And this is exactly your point. Chiefs 49ers, Ravens 49ers, Chiefs Saints, Ravens Saints, Chiefs Buccaneers, Chiefs Cowboys, Ravens Buccaneers, Ravens Cowboys, Chiefs Seahawks, Ravens Seahawks, Chiefs Packers, Chiefs Vikings, Ravens Vikings, and then you got Ravens Packers, and then you got a Chiefs Eagles and a Ravens Eagles.
That's Ravens or Chiefs.
It's gonna be Ravens or Chiefs, and then pick your favorite.
Pick your 2 or 3 NFC teams. Throw $20 out there.
Yo,
and the best.
That's crazy. The first 16 odds, all 16 involves Ravens and Chiefs versus somebody, and that's the crazy part. So, I mean, Vegas know what it is, man. It's Chiefs gonna win it again, or the trend gonna continue for these quarterbacks. And if you don't know the trend, Tom Brady won MVP. He lost the Super Bowl to Nick Foles. Next year, wait, is that right?
Mahomes.
No, yeah, Mahomes won MVP, lost to Tom Brady, probably should have won the Super Bowl, but they lost. Come back the next year, win Super Bowl MVP because Lamar won MVP. So Lamar MVP, Matt Mahomes won the Super Bowl, and then now it's gonna be somebody win MVP. So if Dak or Watson, like we said earlier in the show, win it, Ravens gonna win the Super Bowl, and then the following season, put some money on the Cowboys or the Texans. So if that trend continues, but man, that's gonna be crazy. That's our NFL show, bet show. But before the game come on, quick thoughts on the Ravens. Quick thoughts on the Chiefs and the Texans.
Man, it's weird with no fans.
That's gonna be weird.
But I think Mahomes and Deshaun are the two best QBs in the league under the age of 30. This gonna be a show. It's
gonna be a show, and I'm ready. I'm about to get my popcorn ready right now. Head to the store real quick and give me something before the game come on.
Hey, drop a comment. Should I start Brandon Cooks or not in my flex?
But you got 20 minutes to decide. I'm about to say he is active. I got that alert not too long ago. He is active. Oh man, it's gonna be a great show, man. Shout out to my boy B.O.B. He gonna show y'all why he one of the best coaches in the league and a top 32 GM. Top 32.
Sheesh.
might be number 32, but it's all good. All right, man.
I like Chiefs for the win though.
Chiefs definitely gonna win. All right, man. Preach Wood Rashad.